and Zoning Commission meeting to order at 6 p.m. on Monday, December 2nd. Clerk, please call the roll.
Becker.
Here.
O'Flaherty. Here. Pena Graham.
Here.
Wright.
Here.
McMahon.
Here.
Chair Maxwell. Quorum present.
Thank you very much. At this point in the meeting, I'm going to ask for an approval of the agenda. If there's any additions or deletions, or if somebody would like to make a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
We have a motion on the floor to approve the agenda by Becker. Second. Second by Wright. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Okay, the agenda is approved. At this point of the meeting, I'm going to ask for an approval from the minutes for the last meeting. Can I get an approval from the minutes from the last meeting?
So moved.
We got a motion to accept the minutes as submitted by Wright. Second.
I second.
Second by O'Flaherty. All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. The minutes are approved. This is the public participation portion of the meeting. If there's anybody in the audience that wishes to speak about something that's not on the agenda, I invite you to come up to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Seeing none, I'm going to move on, close the public participation portion of the meeting, and move on to new business. Tonight, for new business, we have 2 items on the agenda. The first is a public hearing, a petition by Lazarus Rivera for the approval of variances to the Unified Development Ordinance to allow a 6-foot-high wood privacy fence in a portion of the frontage yard, the side yard, along Furl Street for the property located at 499 Bantam Street. Is there a presentation to be made?
Good evening, everybody.
If you could state your name and your address.
Sure,
for the
Lazarus A. Rivera.
record, and your
I
address.
live at 499 Bantam Street,
Thank you.
new to DeKalb, just moved out here. I'm proposing to place that 6-foot fence on the side of Furrow due to the fact I do have an autistic son. He just turned 21 years old. With that being said, he can't be left alone. He does wander around. We have 2 small dogs that caters to him and his needs. So happened to be a few months moving into here, a month after we found out he has cancer. So that was a big dwell to us, but thanks to the DeKalb Hospital, it's been phenomenal, nothing but great. So we have all these kind of obstacles that just kind of hit us, but everything happens for a reason per se, with the move and whatnot. So with that being said, he's not one to be like to be touched or looked at too much. Me and my mom are the only one pretty much, even his brother can't do so. So we wanted to just block it off so he could have that open area in the back, gets out of the house, gives him something to do, knows that he's secured and he's safe. He always likes to move out in the country area, so that's why he moved out here. The back of our home is all farms, so it's something that kind of puts him at ease. So that's where we want to propose the 4-foot fence so that he could look out and sit out to where we place his bedroom, to where the window does face out towards the back. I'm hoping that you guys, take this decision and help us out in reference to this. I've worked with DeKalb, the city of DeKalb, in all means necessary, as well as with the fencing company to see what it is that I could do to make this happen.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there a staff report on this, Dan?
Yes. As Lazarus mentioned, he lives in a corner lot, just a new home, moved in this year, new resident. Corner of Furrow Street and Bantam Street, a lot of new homes, so the aerial doesn't show the homes. There's a lot of new homes under construction along the west side of Bantam, vacant mostly over here, but the fence location, 6-foot-high privacy fence, you can see the footprint of the home here. And you can see there's a distance about 12.5 feet from the edge of the house to the 25-foot setback line. So the home is not even up to the setback line. So the proposed 6-foot-high wood privacy fence would go from the southwest corner of the home diagonally to the 25-foot building line, then straight west to the property line. As Lazarus mentioned, the proposing a 4-foot-high privacy fence in the back, which is per the code. And then coming up to the north, staying off the property line about 10 feet and eventually back to the corner of the house. So The variance is this, in this area here, or it's within, closer to the street than the house. This portion here, basically. So the way we looked at this, and was a couple things. This one was the obvious, if they could build a house up to the 25-foot building line, why not a fence? So it's kind of unusual where the footprints of these new homes by Ryan are a little bit smaller than the other homes out there. So we do have some, I don't know how many, where they're not building up to the, on corner lots where they're not building up to the building line on both sides. So that does leave some extra space, open space for that. Also, as mentioned, this is looking west. There's the house of the applicant. Fence will be in this area. You can see to the west is unincorporated farmland, so that's, the fence will not block the visibility in the adjacent home because there is no home there. This shows kind of, he's put a string line on where it shows approximate location where the fence will go. This is looking west again. There's a couple houses across the street, but you can see the ample yard here still, even with the proposed fence that will be built. This is a string line looking back to the east, actually, where you can see there's more homes back there. And the two homes across the street, which have a little much bigger footprint than the Ryan homes, the home by the applicant. So we're recommending approval basically due to the fact that it won't hurt the neighborhood, won't block the visibility of the adjacent home, which we always look at corner lots, and the fact that it's still just going to the building line. So if they could build a home there, certainly the fence would be better. So this one's pretty clear. We think it meets all the findings of fact for a variance. Recommending approval. We didn't receive any written comments from the public. And there's a sample motion prepared that approves Exhibit A, which is shown up on the screen.
Okay. Thank you, Dan. At this point, is there anybody from the public that wishes to speak on this issue? And seeing none, I'm going to close the public participation portion of this meeting and open it up to the panel for questions or comments.
Seems like an easy one.
Seems like an easy one. Seems like reasonable. You're gonna build, you can build the house there anyway, so.
Yeah.
So I think that seems reasonable. All right, if there's no questions, no comments, then I'm gonna ask for, if somebody wanted to make a motion.
I'll make the motion. Based on the submitted petition, testimony presented, and findings of fact, I move that the Planning and Zoning Commission approve a variance to Articles 7.06.4.b and 7.06.6 of the Unified Development Ordinance to allow a 6-foot-high wood privacy fence in a portion of the frontage yard, side yard, along Furrow Street for the property located at 499 Bantam Street, as shown on the site plan labeled as Exhibit A of the staff report dated November 27, 2024.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor from O'Flaherty. Is there a second?
Second.
A second by Wright. Clerk, please call the roll.
Becker,
Yes.
O'Flaherty,
Yes.
Pena Graham, yes. Wright,
Yes.
McMahon.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Okay. All right, best of luck.
Yes, absolutely.
Best of luck. All right, we have a second public hearing on the agenda tonight. So at 6:08 PM, I'm going to open up a second public hearing. This is a petition by Legend Restoration, represented by Bill Shermanhorn, for a special use permit for a multi-family dwelling units, 4-unit apartment building for the vacant property located at 1015 Market Street. A variance is also requested from the Unified Development Ordinance to reduce the minimum lot size from 14,000 square feet to 13,500 square feet for a 4-unit apartment building. Is there a presentation from the audience? You can come to the podium and state your name and address, please.
Frank Schermerhorn, and we're proposing a, modification to the size for a 4-unit at 1015 Market Street.
Frank,
I want you to describe a little bit more what you want to do and build.
Okay, so yeah, it's an empty lot right now,
Okay.
and it's around 60 feet by 46, and I believe it's a little bit larger than what's allowed, by 500 square feet. So it'll have a parking area in the back alley, and yeah, we'd like to see if we can get this project done.
Could you describe a little more about the building you're going to construct, the number of units,
Yep.
bedrooms, et cetera?
Okay, so each unit will have 2 bedrooms, roughly 1,100 square foot, and it's going to be a 2-story, 4-unit apartment building. And we've got an architect that's drawn, put everything up together. And yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Do a staff report on this one?
Yes, so 2 things here, a special use and a variance. So we need 2 motions at the end. 1015 Market, as noted by the applicant, is vacant lot, north side of Market Street. You can see in red here, served in the back by an alley that goes from North 10th to North 11th. So in the zoning is RC1 Residential Conservation District. In that district, multifamily requires a special use permit. Variance is also requested regarding the minimum lot size. So the lot is 0.31 acres. And once contained, this is a more recent photo of the lot that's vacant. That's just about 2-3 weeks ago. At one time, it contained 2 structures, one on the right, more of a commercial-looking building, not sure the history of that, and then a home here. Those were both demolished in 2017 by the city, were demolished. That's an aerial view of the 2 structures that were on the site. And then in 2017, they were removed from the property. So that's a lot we're dealing with. They proposing, as mentioned, a 2-story building with 4 units, 2 on the ground floor, 2 units on the second floor. Each will contain 2 bedrooms. The proposed building faces Market Street, of course. In the back, parking for 9 vehicles off the alley, meeting the UDO requirements. All the setbacks are met for the building, including the front and side yards, and of course the rear. There's a front building elevation. There were some rear elevations in your packets, but that's the appearance of the building from Market Street. So looking at the comp plan for the area, which has a mix of land uses, single family, it's industrial to the south. There's 2-family, there's a few multifamily in that area. This is looking east on Market Street. This is subject site, pretty much where this car is, but you can see kind of a commercial-looking building here, industrial across Market. This is looking west now on Market Street. The subject site is here. See industrial building over here and residential down the street. This is the alley off of 11th Street looking to the would be the west. So they would enter off here in the parking in the back, which they'll be adding. So it is a mix of uses in that area. There's 2-family, there's single-family, 2-story, more ranch-looking, and some multifamily units. The comp plan calls for medium-density residential, which is 4 to 8 dwelling units per acre. This is 12.9. But the plan also does note that this category, medium-density residential, is for smaller, single building, 8 units or less, multifamily, so it fits within that. So we think this building will occupy a vacant lot, add value to the neighborhood, provide additional housing in this area, and increase the property tax base. There is parking, there's 9 spaces in the back, which meets the UDO. There is also parking allowed on the north side of Market Street for additional cars if needed. The south side prohibits any parking. The variance is for the minimum lot size in the RC1 district. UDO requires 3,500 square feet per dwelling unit, so that would equate to 14,000 square feet needed. The subject lot is 13,500, just 500 square feet short. But the building meets all the setbacks, there's plenty of open space, has adequate parking. I did note a few lots that do exceed, current ones with buildings on them, that exceed the minimum lot area. 1003 Market Street contains 2 units that require 7,000 square feet. They're just over 4,500 square feet. 1014 Market to the north, 2 units in there, needing 7,000 square feet. They're just over 6,000 square feet. And finally, 1103 Market, a small lot. There's 3 units in there requiring 10,500. The lot is only about 3,500 square feet. So you can see it's kind of a mix of uses in this area. So we think this will be a nice addition to the neighborhood. So the findings of fact for the special use and variance, we believe, have been met. We didn't receive any written comments on the proposal. As noted, 2 motions, a special use permit is a recommendation, the variance is a action by the commission, so there's 2 sample motions prepared. And be happy to answer any questions and looking for feedback from the commission on your thoughts about the project, so.
All right, thank you, Dan. All right, is there anybody from the public wishing to speak on this item? If so, come to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Seeing none, I'm going to close this public hearing and open it up to the commission for discussion. Does anybody have any questions?
This was property owned by the city originally?
We became in possession of it, I think before we demolished it, obviously. I think it was, I assume, some type of problem with property maintenance, and we became in possession of it, condemned it probably, so. And then demolished it, then it was sold to somebody. Mr. Wong, the owner, bought it this past year in the summer, right? Yeah, of this year, so.
Okay.
I think it makes sense with the other properties nearby. It's a good fit for the neighborhood. Yeah.
It's a good fit. I mean, I think the variance for the spacing isn't really out of line for what's going on in
Not
that
at
block
all.
there.
Yeah.
So it
Lot
seems
of
to work.
older,
Yeah.
small parcels over there, and that's not terribly undersized,
No, so
comparatively speaking.
I think it
so.
seems better.
And the blueprints on the apartments themselves, they're
Yep.
lovely, they look nice.
Yeah, looks like it'll be an improvement for the property, or the
Yeah.
area. Okay. All
So,
right.
Dan, will we have to have a vote on the variance first and then a vote on the special?
We'll do the special use first and then the variance second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if there's no questions, I was going to ask if anybody wants to make a motion on the special use permit.
I'll do it. Based on submitted petition, testimony presented and findings of fact, I move the Planning and Zoning Commission forward its findings of fact and recommend to the City Council approval of a special use permit for multifamily dwelling units to accommodate a 4-unit apartment building for the vacant property located at 1015 Market Street per the site plan and building elevations dated 11/8/24 and labeled as Exhibit A.
We have a motion on the floor from Becker. Is there a second?
I second.
Second from Penny Graham. Clerk, please call the roll.
Becker,
Yes?
O'Flaherty,
Yes.
Pena Graham. Yes. Wright,
Yes.
McMahon.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, so that motion passes, and that'll go to the city next week. Now I'm going to ask for a motion on the variance.
We just want to hear you
I
read.
can, I will,
All right.
okay. Based on the submitted petition, testimony, based on the submitted petition, testimony presented, and findings of fact, I move the Planning and Zoning Commission approve a variance from Article 5.14.05 of the Unified Development Ordinance to reduce the minimum lot size from 14,000 square feet to 13,500 square feet to accommodate a 4-unit apartment building as shown on the site plan dated November 8th, 24, labeled as Exhibit A.
All right, we have a motion on the variance from Pena Graham. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And we have a second from O'Flaherty. Clerk, please call the roll.
Becker,
Yes?
O'Flaherty,
Yes.
Pena Graham,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
McMahon.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right. Well, good luck with that, gentlemen.
Yep. Any idea when you're hoping to have it built by? Timeline?
Yeah, maybe by summer next year.
Great. Excellent. Look forward to seeing it.
Very good. All right. Are there any reports, staff reports?
Next meeting, last meeting of the year, on the 16th, we'll be here at the library. One hearing for a co-location of a cell antenna on 1500 South 7th Street. That's on the 300-foot AT&T tower that's down there. So special use on that. Also that night, I'll share the community development budget. It's going to be second reading by the council next Monday, but it kind of lists, we've done it every year, list all the projects, special use, even variances in there to kind of share with the commission, look how the work you guys have done, and then maybe I'll try to, a few of them get a before and after picture of even some of these little smaller variances or special use permits of what we looked at, and then approved it with conditions and how it kind of, what they did to the property, so try and do that.
Very good.
And that'll be the last meeting of the year. The council is due to approve their scheduled meetings for next year, next Monday night at their last meeting. We'll get that to you emailed the next following day, and we're running copies off for you too, so.
Okay.
It looks pretty consistent with past years in terms of when we meet, particularly for the holidays on a Monday, we meet Tuesday, so. But we'll get that to you once it's approved.
Do we have
That's
any
all.
prospects yet, or?
No, I haven't, or heard anything. If you have any, pass those on to the mayor.
Okay.
Barnes, if you have anybody interested in that, or if you, to me, I'll get it to them, get it to them.
All right. Thank you, Dan. Is there anybody from the commission that has anything to report? Seeing none, I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
We have a motion on the floor to adjourn the meeting by Wright, second.
I second.
Who said it first? Trixie? Second by Pena Graham. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Meeting's adjourned.